Mike from Comprehensive Grants Management. Today I want to talk to you about your FSS submission and the auxiliary items related to your FSS application, which are specifically your FSS action plans and your FSS online training. With the 2022 FSS NOFO and the current re-release of the 2022 NOFO for new submissions for 2023 FSS funding or updates to the previous 2023 funding, I want to address the additional requirements that exist outside of the actual grant submission. The grant itself is due in just over 2 weeks from me shooting this video, which is going to be on August 30th of 2023. The FSS grant submission process is fairly straightforward. However, there are some of these auxiliary items that you'll want to address sooner rather than later so that they don't become sticking points. And they are your mandatory online FSS training and your FSS action plans. Neither of these items is bound by the same August 30th deadline that the grant application is following, but they do have their own timelines to be mindful of. The mandatory FSS training must be completed before the actual award date. So we don't know what the actual award date is. However, we can use some guidelines to help keep us lined up and on schedule. And that would be the program start date. And the program start date for the FSS program is typically going to be January 1st. So you can view the beginning of the calendar year 2024 as your potential drop dead timeline for completion of your online FSS training. This is important for the 2022 NOFO, as the program office did release the updated final rule with the initial release of the 2022 NOFO. And they expect all FSS programs to be compliant with the final rule. So this is an important deadline to make because the program office may withhold funding until this training is completed. No additional submission or documentation is required to be submitted when you do complete this training. It's done entirely through HUD Exchange, and HUD and the FSS Program Office will be able to pull a list of names who have completed this training at the time of the next award announcement. So make sure that at least one person from your organization has completed this training so that when the awards are announced, your organization is not at risk of having funding delayed due to nobody being on that list. The second big item is going to be your FSS action plan, which also must be compliant with the updated final rule. So if you are a new applicant seeking funding for 2023, you may be starting from scratch to create a new action plan, but you do have some time to get this finalized. You have until March 31st of 2024, so even more time than you do to complete the online training to get your FSS action plan approved by your field office. So I encourage everybody to apply for the FSS program, both public housing and HUD multifamily projects. But remember, the FSS grant submission deadline is only the first step that you need to pass through to get your future FSS program up and running. Please do not delay or forget to finalize the additional items for your program, which again is going to be your online FSS training and your FSS action plan.